Good day to everybody out there. This is See Thy Wealth, Water Your Health, Drink a Glass of Water. The topic I want to cover today is you could take me out the hood or the ghetto or the projects, but you can't take the projects, the hood, or the ghetto out of me. I used to hear that all the time. You could take out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the... And I believe that to be true to a certain degree because I've been far removed from the so-called projects, so-called hood, so-called ghetto, but the mentality is still there. And it's almost like that saying goes, no matter where you go, there you are. And it's really true at this point in my life. No matter where I go, there I am. And I show up. The bad, the good, everything shows up in its same form. And that's how I know it's time to change. That's how I know it's time for me to make some life-altering decisions to put me in a better space mentally. I had a really bad day yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday, October 21st, and it was bad. Even the night was bad. You know, I kind of woke up, fell asleep early, probably around a little after 9. And I woke up out of my sleep around 10:45, and I felt like someone was standing over top of me, and it was very weird. Now, I must say that last Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, from Sunday night to Wednesday night, I did a 3-day coconut water fast. This was last week. Now we're on this week. And I haven't had any cooked food, although I've had, watermelon, papaya, smoothies, and stuff like that. No salads, nothing savory, anything. So I'm kind of in a slight detox. And dreams were vivid on the second night of the coconut water cleanse. The second night and the third night, I had a pretty vivid few dreams. And realized yesterday that I don't feel like I'm making any progress. And what I mean by progress is, excuse me, the dogs are fucking going crazy. What I mean by progress is I don't feel like I'm gaining any traction in regards to how to deal with this. And my solution to it is to cut off all my devices, to turn off my cell phone, or not necessarily turn off the phone, but to actually turn off my messages, turn off the apps, don't use it in regards to social media. The only form of electronics I would actually use outside of, because I do have a foreclosure going on where I'm trying to recover a property back from a borrower. But everything I have outside of that, I have nothing that is obligatory or that's a priority. So my solution is to turn off the phone, turn off Instagram, X, and just use my camera to upload videos, because I realize that the distractions are causing me to not even focus on the inner healing that I need, just like these dogs are distracting me. Hey, relax, chill out. These dogs, hey, cage. These dogs are causing me to focus on other things. So I'm really in a space to where I have to put the work in. And if I turn off all of my electronics, then I'm forced to just deal with the present. I'm forced to deal with the dogs. I'm forced to deal with planting my several fruit trees that I need to transplant from a bag to the ground. I'm forced to deal with myself. Maybe sign up for a yoga class. Look for a local gym that I can visit as opposed to just working out here at home. A friend of mine said that I shouldn't go into isolation. I shouldn't block everybody off. I should be dealing with people, because if I don't put myself around people, then I don't work on those triggers, or I won't know when I'm triggered, and I won't know how to respond to certain things when it actually comes up, because I'm not around those people. I'm not around anybody. And I do believe that, hey, no. 1 second, I got to get this sock. Come, outside. Outside. Come. Damn dogs like to bite my socks and I have no socks left. So I do feel like that is he had a point in regards to, if you cut everybody out and you don't have any communication with anybody, when someone does something you don't like, you're not able to put what you're learning in the exercise, or you're not able to actually, and that may sound, it sounded good and it sounded true, but I've never really went without having my phone or using any social media in society. The closest thing you go to not having any contact with the social media world is when you're in jail. So I'd like to see how I feel without any of those platforms. Like I said, the only thing I'm going to do is upload. I'm not looking at views. I'm not looking at comments. I'm not looking at other people's posts. Only thing I'm going to do is upload the content that I put out in regards to how I'm doing for the day, my day one as no electronics or no social media, so on and so forth. How many of us have ever did a social media or phone fast? Because we talk about water fast, we're talking about intermittent fasting from food and all that stuff, but what about people fasting? What about social media fasting? What about TV fasting, internet fasting? What about those types of fasting? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are real things. I don't feel like social media has an impact on my mental health in that way, but it is an addiction. It is something that we wake up in the morning and we grab our phone and we're scrolling right away. If not right away, then no more than a half hour after we arise. So I'm just at an interesting point in my life. I'm very grateful to be able to think about doing this. And I'm looking at starting to do it tomorrow, Thursday, October 23rd. See how it makes me feel. Maybe for 3 days, maybe for a week, maybe for a month. I don't know. I've sent a few text messages out to a few different people just to kind of let them know, hey, if you don't hear from me, this is what's going on. Don't take it as a slight or anything, but this is what I feel like I need to do. This is what the route that I feel like I need to take in order to regain self-control. And the same friend was just like, well, you got enough control of yourself. Look at those fasts you do, and look how you eat so good for a long period of time. And I almost feel like it's not the same to me. The mind is very different. I don't know. And maybe it is the same. Maybe I'm just not looking at it the same way and actually exercising that same amount of discipline when something triggers me. You know what I mean? Because when I set my mind to do a 3-day coconut water cleanse, I do get tempted to eat sometimes, but I don't eat, because I know that there's power and healing in letting the digestive system rest. Why can't I take that same focus and discipline when it comes to human interactions or dealing with other individuals who may piss me off, or the worker who may show up and I get, in a specific mind state, and it's just like, why don't I actually take those same tools and techniques that I'm using during the coconut water cleanse and apply that to everyday interactions and real life situations? No reason why I shouldn't be able to do that. But I haven't been able to get a hold of how someone else makes me feel. And while I can't or shouldn't suppress those feelings I've been reading, I do need to learn how to express those. But I don't know if I'm actually asking. I think this is all rhetorical, what I'm asking, because how many of us actually have the luxury of turning off our phone and not answering any messages, or discipline to not get on social media, or to not pick up a marijuana or alcohol or whatever your drug of choice is? Like, how many of us have that particular discipline and have that ability to just go without those things without going through withdrawal? Because once I feel like something bothers me without it, then I have to, me personally, I don't even say I like to, but it's a challenge and something for me to overcome once I feel like it has some particular control over me. Just like coffee used to give me a headache after a day or two of not having it. Then I realized, wow, I don't want to say I'm controlled by coffee, but coffee's definitely having an impact on my daily habits. And, if I go through withdrawal, then that's a problem for me. I never go through withdrawal when I don't have watermelon or when I don't have coconut water or avocado or things of that nature. I usually go through withdrawal when I'm eating cooked foods, not big withdrawals, or when I have some marijuana. I don't want to say alcohol because I don't drink alcohol in that capacity to say I'll go through withdrawals with it. But definitely when I used to smoke marijuana, especially when I used to wrap the marijuana in those nicotine papers, that I realized 2 years ago that which was causing most of my withdrawal when I was smoking weed. Because I would smoke weed for a couple months, then I would quit smoking for 5 or 6 months. Then I would start smoking for a couple months and I would quit, and I realized every time I quit that I would go through these extreme withdrawal pains and I couldn't sleep. I'd have no appetite. I'd be short fused, anxious, a whole bunch of other feelings and, things that came along with that. And it bothered me. And then when I realized, oh, it's the nicotine in these rolls, in these wraps. That's what it is. So I stopped using them, But what I'm trying to say is even people are addictions. So sometimes you talk to someone every day and then you don't hear from them at that particular time that you used to hearing from them. You go through withdrawal, whether you believe it or not, you wonder what happened to so-and-so. Where are they at? And that's a problem for me. You know what I'm saying? To deal with those types of withdrawals are very difficult. Stop! Difficult. Damn, dogs are biting on the wood on the porch. But it's very, very, I believe me turning off my messages, me turning off my social media, only using my camera here to download, read my videos, upload my videos as they're done, or schedule a time for them to upload, because you can do that on YouTube. You can schedule times for your videos to upload and just go on about my day. Don't worry about the TV. Get a journal, start journaling, read my books that I have. I was really big into law for a big period of time. I'm still like law because that's what governs our lives for the most part. Trusts and, estates and jurisdiction and equity and all that good stuff. So I'm going to probably get back into that so I can free my mind and actually elevate as opposed to stand stagnant, because I've made it to a place in life to where I don't need any outside sources to help me sustain my life. I don't. So now I need to know how to get past this blockage that I have up here to take me to another level, to build strong connections and relationships that are very important in life. People are important. We're not here to just be segregated over here and just one person or two. Having a community, I think, is very underrated. A supportive community, one that vibrates on the same frequency. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm not going to go off too long. I appreciate you guys for watching. This is See Thy Wealth. Water your health. Drink a glass of water.